the hour, and we are running farther with Smart Means Business this morning. And I'll tell you, our next discussion is entirely going to focus on the weekly topics of what we've been having from the on-ground and the top stories, of course. Now, clearly, most of the times when we get to understand business ideas, we get to discuss them, we get to analyze them one by one, step by step as it happens. And I'm joined by Berija Andrew to discuss more about these particular ones, straight from Monday, breaking it down to Thursday. Some of those you missed and those that you caught up with, and just to give an in-depth of what was really happening on ground and with the same story. Andrew, good to catch up again.
Yeah, actually, good morning once again.
Good morning indeed.
Yeah.
It's Friday, and Fridays are normally days of discussions, conversations, I should say. But when we start from Monday, regarding the issue of coffee.
The Private Sector Foundation Uganda signing a memorandum of understanding with the Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
True.
Yeah. You know, it's very interesting about this whole thing. You know, I was doing a certain research on the platform of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, and I realized that Uganda, most of our coffee is actually exported.
True.
You realize that because one of the terms of that memorandum of understanding was a way to boost, like it was value addition, but in terms of coffee, and to boost the domestic demand, despite you know, these are allegations that come up that coffee is meant for people abroad, you know, the European countries which have cold conditions. But of course, it's because there has not been quite enough, can I call it propaganda, regarding coffee, to know that you need to take coffee. So in that aspect, you find that the domestic market is down. Actually, I read an article that says Kenya, the greatest importer of our coffee, they like it, but Ugandans shun the coffee.
No, ideally,
So, yeah,
Ugandans are not good coffee takers, I should say.
Yeah. But
it's only the foreigners who are best in here,
yeah,
who prefer
the coffee.
Yeah. And I normally tell people, by the way, I was a barista one time for quite 2 years, doing some coffee, cappuccino, African tea, and all those things. And Ugandan coffee, whether powdered or whether seeds, in Japan there is high demand for coffee. Ideally, Kenya, earlier this week, is on the verge of losing a market of coffee in Japan. And then you can clearly see where the target market is. The United States as well is a target market for Uganda. But I still don't know whether if Uganda has a country that we export and we say this is our target market and we export more volumes.
Now, this is the challenge that comes in.
Okay.
I was at a conference, and you know, there was this Chinese person that stood up and said, I am the only person that knows that Uganda's coffee is good because I'm in Uganda. That somebody in a store out there, that they're not going to leave coffee from Italy, coffee from Brazil,
okay,
and they take the coffee of Uganda. Why? The aspect of promoting, like marketing the country out there. You know, I don't know the image that probably the people could be having out there. And there was a suggestion of we could have people like ambassadors. If we could get coffee ambassadors out there, you know, to ensure that.
But we've got Penetti. There is a Penetti in here. And at the beginning of the year, I will tell you that Uganda's coffee sector and Uganda's coffee industry was actually having some key issues here. We had Penetti coming in, and then President Museveni came in to defend, but it's actually him who brought in Penetti in the deal. So coffee in Uganda is actually transitioned terribly.
Which is fine, but I believe Penetti alone is not going to. It's a collective effort.
Oh, very true.
It's a collective effort because at the end of the day, you know, when there is a collective effort, there are committees which are put in place to ensure that, okay, we establish this, how far is it going, how far is it, because some of these people, they could come, you know, and they probably take on these brands, of course, in the interest of Uganda. You know, it's not personal interest, but in the long run, because of lack of collective effort, it becomes a personal thing.
Okay. And then the coffee deal. Remember, Uganda withdrew from the 2007 coffee agreement earlier this year, sparked off different discussions online and mainstream media, and also every Ugandan was giving their own view about Uganda's withdrawal. But anyway, we hope the sector grows bigger. Andrew, what else did we have this week? Because we quite had a number of discussions.
Very, very many. I remember that was on Tuesday when we talked about the banning of the models 2012 and below.
I think there are quite many in the country.
Very many. Actually, I'll tell you that. If you see a very nice car on the road right there and it looks really attractive, but you go to find out the model, 2000. And
Yeah, 2000 to 1998, and I'm like, how does this model happen to be 1998?
Yeah.
Then that means 2020 is worth like 200 million, because here you realize even these models are expensive at the end of the day.
very, very expensive. And now, in this aspect, we try, okay, for private individuals, probably, they could be able to handle. And then we went down and we reached out to the people into the transportation business, other taxi guys, and there is this whole new taxi that is on the talk everywhere, the drone. Everybody's talking about the drone, but I was disappointed by what I heard about the views of the drone. It's too draining. It's not a car for a person who knows economics. I'll say
It's luxury.
it's luxury. You get that. So, and to them, it's really, really very hard, because importing a drone to Uganda, it's about 80 million. And that's inclusive of the taxes, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's a hearsay. Which version, by the way, is that drone? Could it be 2000?
It's early 2000.
Early 2000. Imagine.
Late 2000.
Late 2000.
Before 2010.
So it's not even 24. Okay. But now we had the version that came before the drone. That was
The Chigege that
they
we
call it
normally
Chigege.
the Chigege.
But that one, if you're to import it here, it's just 50 million.
Okay.
50 million. Okay. It could even be lesser than that, depending on how the taxi, because
Okay.
that's inclusive of the taxes.
All right.
But then, the Chigege, these guys have been using, you know how things, this is Uganda. You can go to any petrol station and it can actually consume any fuel.
Very true. And you can, and I'll tell you, Chigege, I think, is the only taxi, if you look at Chigege taxis, or you should say, like they normally call them, very old, it looks very old, but it can move.
It can move, yeah.
It can even move without a key in it. So you can see how terrible management or road safety management is in the country. I think that is what Uganda Revenue Authority intends to eliminate
Road safety.
with that particular move. And we hope that happens, but for some of us who are yet to buy vehicles, I think it will become very worse now, because when you go to bonds, to different bonds in the country, they will tell you the cheapest car now runs at 25 million Uganda shillings. Now that also depends on the consumption, and then also
Maintenance,
the capacity and everything.
and stuff.
So you can see how things are not really easy. Things are tight in the country.
And actually, talking about the drone, it's limited. Of course, when you have the drone, there are petrol stations you'll have to get fuel from. And these people told me that, do you know drones of the rich men that are stuck in garages simply because the maintenance costs were very, very high?
Because the people of Chigege prefer taking petrol from every fuel station.
Exactly.
Someone takes in from this fuel station, the new one, the old station, everything. And I think that is making Chigege more reliable. Because it is actually more effective than drone.
Very. Drone is fast. Okay, that's that. It's comfortable. I've sat in it.
Definitely.
And it's very comfortable. Maybe that's the thing I can say that is the killer of it. But economy, like talking about economies of scale, is it the right word? If you're a person who really plans business well, it wouldn't be a good priority.
And then as we were moving further this same week as well, we had various topics of discussion.
Uganda Communications Commission.
The Uganda Communications Commission also intends to block
fake phones.
Okay, so that means that we shall not have any entry coming in.
Perfect.
Okay.
But according to the dealers on ground, they say we don't have any fake phones in Uganda. I don't know how true that is. Recently, currently UCC is undertaking the aspect of cybersecurity.
Okay.
And do you know that fake phones are easily hacked.
I do know of a friend here who has a fake phone, and I think it comes from a different brand of the iPhone.
Yours original?
And I think it's a fake one. But anyway, there are lots of fake phones in the country. I don't know. It also makes me doubt mine about whether it's fake or not.
Actually, there is a procedure you can follow. I remember some time back I was in touch with a person in charge of gadgets, the Uganda Communications Commission, and there is though I kind of forgot. I wrote it somewhere down how you can find out that actually your phone is fake
by the use of your
the
code
code you enter and stuff like, and also there is this aspect of anyway, before we get there, I was wondering, most of these old phones, surprisingly, the original. That's according to what the dealers say. Second-hand phones.
And they are very, very effective.
Very effective.
Durability, even if it falls down, it doesn't crack. Even if it falls down, it will continue. A phone that falls in water and then you put it in rice and then you get back to using it is a phone that is, according to UCC, is a fake phone. So sometimes you want to understand which is fake and which is not.
But there are phones which are waterproof. Actually, my gadget is waterproof.
But you're a tech guy, by the way. You know things. You definitely know how to get things moving.
Yeah.
But anyway, UCC does intend to ban the use of fake phones to at least protect the consumers who buy these phones. Your hard-earned money should actually count. That is what UCC intends to do.
Yeah.
Then yesterday we looked at the forthcoming Uganda-Somalia Summit. This will happen on the 8th and 9th of August. That is at the Speak Resort in Munyonyo. This one also intends to see relations between the two countries.
Yeah. Actually, we've had quite a number of summits.
Yes,
business
Turkey,
forums. Yeah.
We've got Tanzania,
South Sudan recent.
So quite many.
But the question is, I have this question in mind: is that why this time around? That we are getting the summits. Didn't Uganda need these summits way back in the time? And talking of Somalia, we are sure that peace is now at 80%. I think of the stability, though still we hear that. I remember that was it last year, whereby literally almost every week you hear that the So-and-so's convoy was survived the blast by the Al-Shabaab. So.
And actually, the business community was worried about that with this upcoming summit. The summit is coming in here, but then Somalia has a new leader, has a new president, and the president will be coming to the country. Now, most of the key discussions are to ensure that there is political stability, to push for economic recovery for Somalia mainly, because now Uganda is coming in as an upper hand for Somalia, but then in return it may not look like a 50-50, but it's a gain for both countries, Uganda and Somalia, and then pretty much the private sector will benefit.
Yeah, and I think also because Uganda, we are known so much for busubuzi. That's why
we are very good traders.
We are very, very good traders, and Somalis are people that can actually receive our goods.
And we have a number of Somalis in the country.
In the country, down in Chisenyi. Yes, it's like their village now.
So Chisenyi Trading Center is basically known for Somalia. Even the settlement areas around there is for the Somalis.
Yeah.
So I believe it's a good one for us.
Yeah, it's a good one for us. Yeah, because these are already natives in our country. They're already some during the time of the Al-Shabaab invasion. Majority came here to seek refuge.
Okay.
And we've been in good terms with them. I've not really had any issues. Ugandans saying, hey, we have some issues with these Somalis. They're here and they're doing this stuff. So I believe this comes as a final ceiling point to boost their relationship. But we hope we see the fruits of all these summits.
All right. We've got 2 minutes to get off our discussion and say goodbye to you and wish you a good week. Andrew, what are your new aspirations for next week? Because now we're in a new month, 5 days clear. Now we're getting into next week of August. What else? What next for the business world as we're winding up our discussion?
First of all, I'm going to sum that up. Of course, this goes to all the business owners. Perhaps you may not have made it in life, or perhaps you're struggling. The most important thing in business is honesty. hard work, of course family, but above all, don't forget where you came from. So literally, honesty, hard work, don't forget where you come from. I think that's what I can say. That is something that has really transformed me, you know. I will say that. So
Okay.
I believe it's my work next week.
All right.
Yeah.
And there you have
Inspiration.
it. A man like Berija Andrew. You catch him up tonight at 10 p.m. That is with Smart Tech after business today. He'll be taking you through more of what happens from the world of technology in Uganda's perspective, a show that you will definitely want to catch up. He is on the team Smart Means Business every day, from the news recap to on the ground, bringing discussions live into your living room and in the comfort of your phone. If at all you're using the YoTV channel app, we're on GoTV channel 394, soon coming to DSTV and around your town, definitely. I'm Jerome Paul Songo. This has been Smart Means Business. We started this week on the 1st. We're ending it on the 5th in regards to breakfast television. We'll be back on Monday to continue driving your business. I should tell you, you've been an amazing audience this entire week. Our discussions can be caught up on YouTube. That is Smart 24 TV Live. We're on the journey to 2,000 subscribers. Already hit the 1K. Now we want the 2K coming in heaps and bounds. Thank you very much for joining us. We've been coming to you live with this discussion from the Smart 24 TV Lounge. It's quite a good place and an amazing one as well. Thank you. Have a good one coming up shortly after. We have Financial Markets with Anthony Sebale. Later on, we have Yugi Tukole with Fred Makubia. Naomi Mutumba has Skill Up. Hassan Duga with Jane Kolela. I'll be back late in the night with business today, and Andrew Berija has Smart Tech, like I told you, at 10 p.m. Have a blessed day. Good morning.